לילו, לילו לה. כמה רוצה הלב לאסוף ולאגור על גבו של החמור. אין אדם נמנע מהעולם הזה, לחצי דמנו בידו. כשהלב מחליט שרוצה אלוקות, דרך קבוצה יגלה חברות, ושם הוא יוצא מתוך הגלות והופך את הנסתר לגלות. כשהלב מחליט שרוצה אלוקות, דרך קבוצה יגלה חברות, ושם הוא יוצא מתוך הגלות והופך את הנסתר לגלות. Cuando al corazón le gusta acaparar sobre su cuerpo animal, no se puede ir de este mundo así, pues toda su pasión está en él. Y el corazón elige a la divinidad, junto al lujo llega la amistad, y entonces podrá del exilio salir, y lo que ocurrirá se dejará. שהלב מחליט שרוצה אלוקות, דרך קבוצה מגלה חברות, ושם הוא יוצא מתוך הגלות והופך את הנסתר לגלות. לילו 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 לה, לילו 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 לה, לילו 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 נעלה, ביחד נעלה, ניפול ונקום ישר אל האור.
Hello, dear friends, World Kli. I am very excited standing here. I have great awe and great fear. Now we are in the middle of the Congress, and I was given this opportunity, and I'm in great awe that I will miss it and will not my own sesame, and we won't turn the scale to the scale of merit. And now we have a huge opportunity. And this wisdom, I measure it in its truthfulness, in its realness. It's not dependent on people, on someone, on a specific person. This is what makes a path the right path. It goes from one generation to another. It's not corrupted. Even if people are corrupted, it doesn't affect it, none whatsoever. And my way to see it is, well, I was born into the Haifa group. They raised me like a baby. They taught me, they educated me. They are students of Rav. And they demanded of me to decide if I want to move into the group, and I chose the huge, amazing group of Carmiel. And I asked this morning from my friends to support me so that I will be able to stand here and open my heart from the center of our 10. And I see that also today, well, I'm an instructor in the Point and Heart classes. Students of Rav come and they pass on, they convey this teaching. And we are so inspired from the lessons, and it connects completely to Rav's lesson. It is as if he's talking through them. And you haven't got a clue what great inspiration we have in those groups all over Israel every Tuesday. And we've made all the preparations for this amazing Congress throughout the entire year. In last week in the group, we had special meetings. We sang together. And I invited friends, relatives. And I got responses pretty cold, and most people said that they will not come. And in the last week, I felt that I ran out of words. How can I explain to people what is going on in such a place? I have no words to describe. Listen, there is an open gold mine here. Come, grab a sack of gold. So I really don't know how we can explain what's going on here. And I'm asking all of you, we have gold in our hands. Let us together not waste it. Let us invest it in the right place. Let us use it in order to pass it onward. L'chaim.
My loving family.
משפחתי האהובה, שמי אלכס שפירו.
My loving family, I'm Alex Shapiro from Singapore. For my wife and I, this is the 16th Congress we come together. From the moment I walked into this house, I was surrounded by love and giving. And this moment, I wanted to thank you all for all this hard work, all these amazing things we do every single day. Our Rav teaches us that only through the love between us we will really reveal the Creator. So, we are the professors of the theory of Kabbalah already. I can bet that anyone here can answer any Kabbalist question. But the only true answer to the God's call is our unity and love between us. So, where does love start? Love starts from the point in the heart, my point in the heart, when I wake up in the morning lesson and I thank God, I thank the group, and I thank my family and you for all the love you gave us all of us, that the Creator will bless Bnei Baruch L'chaim.
רק בינינו נדליק תהיה לכם קומה של קדושה, רק בינינו נגליד את אור האהבה, נשלבת גדולה. רק ניצוץ לא ידליק את אור האהבה, אבל יחד תהיה כאן קומה של קדושה, רק בינינו נגליד את אור האהבה, נשלבת גדולה.
Howdy, dear friends. Hello, dear Rav. I'm Bobo from Bulgaria. As you can hear, I'm Vova from Bulgaria. Because I'm going to sleep as a Bulgarian and I wake up as Russian. At the end of the day, I don't know what I am more, a Bulgarian or a Russian. And it's even worse. I'm being torn between the two. I'm a virtual member of the virtual Russian group. And at the same time, I'm a member of the physical Bulgarian group. On the one hand, I'm drawn to Bulgaria. On the other hand, I'm drawn to my Russian friends. And it drives me crazy. Because for me, everyone are the same. This is my one big family. This is my huge family with the point in the heart. This is Yeshar Kel. For all those who want to reach something new, something vast, something great. For all those who want to discover the greatness of the Creator. I am so grateful to the Creator for giving me this huge opportunity to be here among you, among my family. What else can I say? I want everyone, including everyone, to be ignited, to be on fire, to feel what I feel in me. That they will reach this explosion. And that finally we will show the whole world that here in Bnei Baruch we want one thing only for the world. We want love, joy, and great happiness. Allow me to thank once again to our beloved friend, to our Rav, Michael Leitman.
Hola, Rav.
Hola, Shalom Rav.
Hello, Rav. Hello, World Kli. Hello, Chile! I'm Christian from Chile, the farthest away country from Israel. Along with my friend, I came and it took us 4 days to come over. This is my first time in Israel and my first Congress.
Yo tuve una infancia muy difícil.
הייתה לי ילדות מאוד קשה.
I had a very difficult childhood. My parents didn't know how to raise a child. I was never told go to school. I was never told to even go take a shower. I was never told to do my homework. But nonetheless, I did advance, I ran forward, and I was able to build a family. But with time,
Pero con el tiempo mi familia se disolvió.
but as time went by, my family also broke up.
ואחרי המשבר המשפחתי שהיה,
And after the domestic crisis I went through, I got to know the wisdom of Kabbalah, and I went into a tent from Valparaiso in Chile. And when I got to know them, it was as if we've known each other for our entire life. Now that I'm here for the first time, I spent some time with friends from Mexico, Spain, and Peru. And I noticed something very, very important, that here is my family. You are my family. From Chile, 20 huge friends came over. And we brought you a special gift. A beautiful gift. We bring it with love. Friends, stand up, please. With love for you.
Quiero encontrarme a los amigos, quiero oír dónde están ustedes y poder encontrarlos por ahí, poder jugar juntos. Quisiera ver todos mis colegas en uno y somos todos un ser. ¿Qué más quisiera poder ver todo en que se abrieran las puertas para nosotros volver a unirnos y poder estar juntos? Unidos, unidos, unidos estamos, amigos, amigos, unidos, unidos estamos. Todos los amigos reunidos en el mundo, en el corazón. Por encima del ego estamos todos, mostrando al mundo esta gran unión. Corazón, oh, oh, unidos, unidos estamos. Amigos, amigos, unidos, unidos estamos. Amigos, amigos, unidos, unidos estamos. ¡Hey! La 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 unidos, unidos estamos. Amigos, amigos, unidos, unidos estamos. Amigos, amigos, unidos, unidos.
Beloved family.
Beloved family. My name is Clarence, and I'm from Toronto.
This is my third trip to Israel.
זו הנסיעה השלישית שלי לישראל.
And it still feels wonderful just like the first time.
מרגיש נפלא בדיוק כמו הפעם הראשונה.
On this trip I came with a special friend.
בטיול הזה הגעתי עם חבר מיוחד.
Leroy.
He's
a brother to me.
הוא כאח בשבילי.
I've watched his development over the almost 3 years from the first intro lecture to he's here for the first time in Israel.
אני ככה עקבתי אחרי ההתפתחות שלו מההתחלה, מההרצאת המבוא הראשונה ועד לנסיעה שלו לישראל.
The 10-hour flight was tough.
נסיעה של טיסה של 10.5 שעות הייתה די קשה.
But it was good. And then when we got to the airport, an hour and a half to get through customs. Can you believe that? An hour and a half.
והיה נחמד, היה טוב, היה בכל זאת שעה וחצי שם בתוך המסך, שעה וחצי במכס.
Then I saw the sign. Bnei Baruch.
ואז ראיתי את השלט, בני ברוך.
Fruit, water, cookies.
והגיעו העוגיות והפירות והמים.
I told him we're home.
אמרתי לו, הגענו הביתה.
My brother is a product of the amazing teachers in Toronto. I won't name them all because they're all wonderful friends and I don't want to miss anybody.
יש את כל האחים הנפלאים שנשבים שם בטורונטו, אני לא רוצה אפילו לנקוב בשמות כדי לא לפספס אף אחד.
When I first came to the wisdom of Kabbalah,
ברגע שהגעתי בהתחלה לחוכמת הקבלה,
it was year 2000. I didn't take it seriously.
זה היה שנת 2000, לא לקחתי את זה יותר מדי ברצינות בהתחלה.
Maybe 5 months and I thought, this is not for me.
אחרי זה אולי 5 חודשים אמרתי, לא בשבילי.
Then my life was in a shambles.
ואז החיים שלי היו בבלגן.
And I remember lying on the ground.
אני זוכר את עצמי שוכב על הקרקע.
Saying, Lord, my life is a mess.
פשוט אומר לבורא, החיים שלי מבולגנים.
If I get through this,
אם אני עובר את זה,
I'm going to make a change.
אני הולך לעשות שינוי.
And within 2 weeks,
ובתוך שבועיים,
I was online, virtual line with the course. Mike Kellogg was my first teacher online.
ובתוך שבועיים מצאתי את עצמי מחובר בקורס אינטרנטי למייק קלוג שהיה המורה הראשון שלי.
I have to say without a doubt,
וחייב להגיד בלי שום צל של ספק,
this method has changed my life.
השיטה הזאת שינתה את החיים שלי.
And I have to say thank you to the Creator.
ואני חייב להגיד תודה לבורא.
Thank you, Rav.
תודה רב.
My Toronto group.
קבוצה שלי בטורונטו.
Because without you,
כי בלעדיכם,
I don't think I'd be here today.
אני פשוט לא חושב שהייתי נמצא כאן היום.
I had no desire to live.
כי פשוט לא היה לי שום רצון לחיות.
Bad enough to say it was the best, but I didn't want to live anymore.
אפשר פשוט להגיד שזה היה רע, אבל פשוט לא רציתי לחיות יותר.
But since coming to the wisdom,
אבל מאז שבאתי לחוכמה,
my life has turned around.
החיים שלי התהפכו.
All I can say is thank you, Rav.
כל מה שאני יכול להגיד זה רק תודה לך רב, לחיים בני ברוך.
שלום רב, שלום חברים.
שלום רב, חברים.
Hello, Rav. Hello, friends. I came from Japan. My name is Hiro. This is my third big Congress. This morning I came here at 8:30. And there was hardly anyone here. But the friends around this table prepared for Yeshivat Chaverim. And Rav was sitting there behind the table. For an hour and a half before the lesson, Rav was already there, and I was very surprised. I came here at 8:30, but I think he came much earlier.
愛する息子たちが友達のために準備をしているのを後ろから
We are Rav's beloved kids, and he's constantly preparing us and preparing for us everything. 2 years ago, I knew nothing of Kabbalah. I came to this Congress. My wife, who came with me this time, she gave me this Congress as a gift.
2年前、私の人生は全く変わりました。
2 years ago, my life changed radically. 2 years ago, I was reborn here.
私の故郷、私の家族です。
Bnei Baruch, it's my birth town. This is my family.
昨日のヤシバタハビリムで日本から来た友達の靖国
In yesterday's Yeshivat Chaverim, a friend from Japan, Yasukuni, he spoke. He told us about one of our brothers, a friend who left the group for a while. He went for a trip, and yesterday he just came back by himself. Sometimes the Creator puts all kinds of obstacles before the connection between us, but it is only meant to strengthen the connection between us. Yesterday at the lesson, Rav answered a friend's question. He said that we don't have to aspire for despair. All we have to do is think about the connection between us. But in order for us to advance, we must face hatred, obstacles, and disturbances along the way. We must create, we must build love above all transgressions, above all obstacles. This is why we're here for, to become a real family. L'chaim.
והכל אחד, הטוב והרע אתמול המחר, והכל אחד, הקרוב הרחוק הגלוי הנסתר, והכל אחד, ובעוד רגע קט זה שוב יחלוף, ונישא את המבט אל האינסוף, ונעורר אהבה בקרבנו, כי זוהי כל עבודתנו, והכל אחד.
Please make sure your cell phones are off. Double check, be certain we don't want to disturb anyone with our cell phones. During the lesson we will have a workshop. So look around. Look If there are tables with a friend, man or woman, or two sitting alone by themselves, invite them over to join you, or join them by yourself. A full workshop with people, full table, is a high-quality workshop. So let us sit in full tables. The topic of the lesson is Love Covers All Transgressions. Lesson number 5. Love covers all transgressions. Go ahead, Rav Leitman.
One of the principles of the wisdom of Kabbalah is a principle that love covers all transgressions. Why? Neither them nor their reward. Meaning, what for? Why can we only love if first we hate? Why can we only connect if first we reject each other? This comes to us from the foundation of creation, of us as creatures. The created beings can only feel one thing if they have its opposite. The Creator exists in and of itself. There is no question about Him and what He feels. It's only Him. It's only I. Whereas the created being is made of me, the created being, and what I feel. Otherwise, I won't exist. That's why we include darkness and light. And we can distinguish, feel, and be impressed only from the contrast, the difference between the two. Moreover, as much as we reveal darkness, evil, opposition, hatred, corruptions, accordingly, specifically according to this, to the extent and according to this quality, we can discover the opposite: connection, support, love, embrace. Connection, only one against the other. That's how God created it. Because we are the created beings. Therefore, this condition that love covers all transgressions, it's not that if we have some problem, some malfunction, we can rise above it, fix it somehow. Rather, love covers all transgressions, meaning whatever transgressions appear, and all of them will appear, and they'll all control us, and they'll be really spread before us in all the intensity and as much as you need till the final correction. And then gradually they will be corrected and we'll see the other side. And in the final correction or on the way there, we're constantly collecting them and going in parallel. Evil, good. First bad, then good. First bad, then good. All the time. That's why don't expect in our life to have any good without bad. And if it does appear, it's a sign that bad will come. However, the wisdom of Kabbalah comes and says, I got it. It's a method where we can bless whatever bad comes just as we do with the good. We can relate to evil as if it's good to begin with. If I know that this evil thing is revealed in order to open good for me, I don't see it as evil. I see it as a means, as a stage that precedes the good. It's part of the good. Otherwise, I won't exist. I won't feel this good. That's why everything depends on the way we relate to the reality that appears. I should learn to see these things. I should learn how to establish myself so I can see reality not as bad and good, rather as a whole, that one does not exist without the other. And if evil appears, it's a sign that against that, as opposed to that, there is good, the light that reforms, that specifically appears as evil out of the future good, in order to build a deficiency in me for that good. Meaning, the only evil thing, any evil thing you get is only as preparation for good. And if we look at it correctly, as we spoke today about there's none else besides Him, I have no problem. I can ascribe it all to one Creator, the good that does good, and there is none else besides Him. That's why love covers all transgressions is one more step on the way to learn the upper force, the way it governs us, and the way we may understand it. Let's go by the verses so we can know this subject better. Please.
Excerpt number 1, Baal HaSulam, peace in the world. Everything in reality, good and bad, and even the most harmful in the world, has a right to exist and should not be eradicated from the world and destroyed. We must only mend and reform it. Again, everything in reality, good and bad, and even the most harmful in the world, has a right to exist and should not be eradicated from the world and destroyed. We must only mend and reform it.
This is related to all the subjects we can identify, both inside us, that we would want to get rid of many things inside us, right? Moreover, outside of us, in our friends, our relatives, people far away from us, in other countries, other nations, the entire reality, nothing should be corrupted by eradicating it, erasing it from reality. You should only know what form it should take if it's in the right way. And then we cannot correct it. All we can do is ask the Creator to correct it. That's it. We do not correct. What corrects is the upper light, according to our request. That's why we want to see reality that maybe seem to us, that may seem to us completely corrupt, but it's only an opportunity for us to address the Creator and to ask a correction. Look how many opportunities we have to turn to Him, to turn, and to ask. The request should come from a 10. understanding that He's expecting us. That's why He's showing us all these states. And when they appear, as a result, we turn to Him, and this is how we come closer and closer and closer until we reveal Him. That's why, first of all, any evil being revealed is being revealed because we need to correct it. By revealing the evil, that's something the Creator did between us. We reveal what should be the right form, the good form, and we're asking the Creator to correct. If we do not correct, if we don't ask for the evil to be corrected, to be good, then we start feeling this evil thing really directed towards us, meaning the Creator no longer awakens us, rather He already bestows or affects us from this evil, and we really feel it as the evil. If this is clear, my question is, how can we correct ourselves, prepare ourselves in a way that we won't feel evil at all, but nonetheless advance? To address to the Creator, to ask Him, in what way would we want to reveal these things, these qualities, these actions, things that go on in the world, so that we will nonetheless have a reason to turn to the Creator. Please.
If the moment a crime is revealed, we have to connect and to turn through the 10 to the Creator. So this is actually the remedy. So let's take the remedy before the blow and connect among us, even now, to create such a connection. Then every blow that will come will be like a little poke before our next stage.
The question, in the beginning, there was a question, can life exist if there's no evil? I think that's the way the question appears, so we won't feel that. Okay, cool. So the question is what evil means. That's what we have to define, what evil means. If evil is such that it only helps us awaken the good, as Dudi said, to strengthen our connection, well, maybe there may be life without evil. It's not pure evil, not purposeless evil, the one that you don't know what to do with.
Yeah, the evil remains. Our attitude is what changes. If we can develop some recognition, okay, that state came to us. Indeed, I can identify it as evil, as bad, but I know where it's guiding me to. And then it becomes like in sports. It hurts, it's not pleasant, but you do it even with a kind of joy, because it directs you to a further away goal.
Yeah, maybe the question is who awakens evil? Do we do it or the Creator? It's as if we exert in working in connection, it's not always pleasant. Sometimes things that are unpleasant appear in this work. You can define them as evil, but then you can ask for the Creator to correct them. On the other hand, the Creator may bring this evil, so you can't get rid of the evil. The question is who awakens it?
If we're working on the connection, then the meaning of evil changes for us. Evil becomes distance from the friends or our inability to be included in the 10. And we want to feel it because this is our opportunity to turn it over, to do some action. But if these are individual disasters if this is some deviation from working for the friends or coming closer to the friends, or at least try to, then that's something else.
Yeah, and also if you look at it a bit from above, and you look on this path where we are and where we're headed to, Well, that seems a means to me in order not to feel it as evil, rather to see it as part of the process we have to go through in order to reach the good. That's how we are given this good. We're given an opportunity to ask for a change of nature.
So, being opposite is evil, being opposite and not being even close to the goal, that is what evil is? Or a word that comes and unites us, this is evil? So the definition of evil keeps changing, but somehow we have to reveal the opposite. The question is if we do through poking or the other way around.
I agree with the friends that scrutinizing evil is the central point. I'm going to go with what they said here, that evil is the disconnection from the Creator and the friends. And then what happens is that on the condition that you have a strong society, these disconnections, and coming back is life, actually. And one more thing about beastly evil, it does disconnect you. Well, and we shouldn't deny this. And that's the force of the society, to bring a person outside of this fever of evil. And no matter what's our definition of evil, working through the friends, through society is the next step in order to work correctly on it.
How can we define, if we define evil as something, as disconnection from the ten, disconnection from the group and from the Creator, this is the evil, this is what evil is. So we have to build that network that will help every friend, the moment he falls, to immediately rise up from that state, to create such an atmosphere of greatness of the goal every moment.
What really touched me in the previous workshop, previous round, is that Rav gave us this instruction like a detector, like a detective in a police department, to look for the Creator behind every friend. And now I'm going to use my turn to remind you. I really liked it. I made an effort to do that, and I revealed very special things.
Yeah, the Creator really does, the ego really does hide the Creator. We constantly need to identify it behind each and every state, good or bad. The moment it happens, the moment we have such an environment, as Lear just said, the moment the environment turns it into a habit, then as a system, as an environment, we approach life, and all of a sudden, problems and evil, it's no longer individual, rather this is what revealed together, and its purpose is to help us advance together.
Rav, you can't advance without feeling this feeling of evil, because an animal, a beast must be evil, and every time it reveals more and more and more, and we can't go on without feeling the evil, asking for its correction, and moving on to the good side. This means our path must constantly be evil, good, darkness, light. And in truth, we read that it says in various places that light only comes out of darkness, etc., etc. However, on the other hand, the Torah tells us that you can only advance by good. And that's it. How? What's the solution? That love covers all transgressions? That I cover the transgression, the crimes. I don't feel that I walk on the left.
I do not know such reality.
I'm only on the left. How else will I feel? I don't know. But through society, I have the opportunity to do actions of coming out of myself, and I have to have some device that will help me identify these opportunities that all the time, as you advance, Rav, how can I see evil as if it's good? Truly. I'm going into the left, the darkness. It's like the shadow of death. But I don't accept it as something bad, rather as revelation of darkness that I have to accept it as well. I need it, just as I do with the light. Otherwise, the one won't be felt without the other. But I don't relate to it as evil. I'm not afraid. I'm not confused. How come? Please.
Those revelations are opportunity to advance, and we chose the path of truth and not the path of bitter and sweet. So every such revelation is an opportunity we can work with.
Yeah, or in other words, if I want to reveal my nature and to change it, so I investigate it in a practical manner. So every such revelation of evil is actually a part of my spiritual advancement.
For evil to be as good, then it has to serve the goal. If there is a reason, a cause, why do we have this good and evil facing the goal, then the evil is also a means as the good to advance towards the goal. And for that, we're always talking about the importance of the goal. Such a phrase that we always say, but when we always have the final goal, then you understand why you're going through the process you're going through.
And ultimately, the only way is to do it through the 10, through the connection, through society, from the most primitive level, where people gathered thousands of years ago in caves in the dark because it was scary, until the spiritual level, that when society is like a shield, that like a shock absorber, like the land that you run electricity through in order for you not to be electrified. And that's how friends come. Rav. Okay, I'll tell you, otherwise you're gonna... Did you ever hear this word, arvut? You heard. Good. What do I get from the group as arvut, so that darkness will be revealed to me, and instead of fear, it will be revealed as something that's given me to reveal the good, the light. And this feeling of fear, the bad feeling, the feel that you're falling, all these negative feelings, I won't feel them. I will only get this data out of the darkness called aviyut, coarseness. And that all happens if I complement myself with arvut on behalf of the group. Then I have how should I say it? Well, not an opportunity. How do you say the opposite? Something you should be afraid of. A threat. Yeah, maybe a threat. Some jeopardy, or I shouldn't be afraid. I have no reason to be confused or to be weak. But that's not the question. Let's say, as if you said arvut. Okay, so what do I get from the group in order to see the darkness, the terrible abyss? How to see it as something good? Now, a degree of aviyut, of coarseness, is now revealed. I'm going to work with it now. Not that I'm afraid and I don't know what to do. What discernments do I get from the group in arvut in order to go through it correctly, go through darkness correctly? Come on.
I
don't know. I still... That is really the question. I really don't understand. Signing a vote between us and reminding ourselves that this is the Creator standing behind every action, that's fine. But the question, does it really cover the transgression, the pain, or it just opens a new space to see things differently, or it really does cover it? That's my question.
Of course it does. I'm sure we all felt it as well. how do we look at problems? Let's say we're in the morning lesson. What perspective we have for problems now? It all becomes as tools to connect, vessels to connect. And how does that happen when you're not under the influence of the light? For me, that's the scrutiny. Then you see there's a force called arvut that really gives you force. You can use this whole life in a purposeful way.
I have to say that how to know this passion of Iran to say the answer in the beginning of the round. Well, you bought me, bro. Thank you so much. We need many such friends as you. And to continue with this direction, in our mind and in our emotion, we will never be able to understand this thing of how to justify evil. It's not in our vessels, not in mind, not in emotion, like everything else that we study in this wisdom. And it does come in our common kli, as Gershon said before, in our common kli. You begin to look, you begin to understand and feel the things, everything differently. And this is what the group gives you in order to cope that thing called evil.
You don't lose your mind when you're in the arvut, meaning you don't see the problem and it takes you out of your focus or puts you under such pressure that you can't think at all. The arvut has something that calms down the ego, but not in order to calm it down, rather so it won't stand in your way of the spiritual work.
It's a package that comes with Arvut, Rav books and the group, in which there are orders, and as Baal Sulam says, tactics, ready in advance, and these are all tools, a working field, the morning lesson at 10, all those things. This is my only guarantee to identify the evil as an opportunity and even to take advantage of it every once in a while.
It's what suddenly I see. It's as if you're walking in a scary woods, a scary dark forest, and you don't know where you're walking. And the 10 is like.
Except number 2, Likutei Etzot, the value of peace. The essence of peace is to connect to opposites. Hence, let not your opinions frighten you. If you see a person whose opinion is completely opposite of yours and you think that it is impossible to keep peace with him. And also, when you see two people who are completely opposite of each other, do not say that it is impossible to make peace between them. To the contrary, this is the essence of peace, to try to make peace between two opposites.
If we look at the purpose of creation to bring everything to connection, then specifically the more distant people are, until they reach a level where they hate each other, they're not like each other, they don't resemble each other, and we can cause a connection between them. It may be me with someone else, or maybe I can see two other people. Then I'm looking from the end of correction. The end of correction meaning the action that we should now do, that it has to happen now. So what I have to do is cause this connection, the correction between people who are distant from each other right now. We're not talking about the world outside, but in the group, as much as people hate each other, they're distant, they don't get along, they have all these bad relationships. There, specifically, we have to make sure things are settled. And also each one regarding others. If he sees that there's someone, usually we see it as if I don't want to talk to him, I don't want to come close to him, I don't get along with him, so let us be okay, we'll sit together at the table, but it's not that I have a relation towards him like I do with the others. I have to have even a better attitude to him, because this is the exact way to correct. Is this clear? Are we going to do it in the group? I am certain that in every group and every person there are such discernments. That I'm closer to these guys and I'm further away from those guys. So with the ones that I'm further away, they can induce a great correction for me, a substantial correction, because the benefit of the connection is especially with them. That's why my question is such. How can we see that our main work, our primary work, is to connect the opposites, or the ones who are distant from each other? Please, what should we do? In every group, I'm sure there is. In every 10, I'm sure there is such. What should we do?
If the friends are your part of your soul and you have some resistance to them, especially that resistance you have to cover up. Let's say the greatest light is revealed, but you cannot do with it anything if you don't have this perception that this is part of your soul and not just bodies or...
Rav, but you, the friends, you must point out, reveal. Suppose Gershon isn't talking to Dudi, so what is that? And they're silent. So the group must force them, obligate them to get along, and get along from the bottom of their heart, because that's for the correction of the group. That is the correction of the group. Okay, so how do we do that? Please, make an agreement. You're going to do it. This is very bad if we're not putting pressure on the correction. It's really in our reach.
We have to create an atmosphere of appreciation, meaning specifically in that do we measure our appreciation towards those friends specifically, towards this problem, this issue specifically.
Suppose that 10 hears about such a case, it's easier. The 10 must do it because it hurts everyone. If I see such a relationship between friends, I have to bring them to correction, directly or indirectly. That's first of all. Secondly, suppose with Gershon. With Gershon, I broadcasted today in the radio, and we really try to act each other, even though the truth is we are not really very fond of each other.
One thing which is very important regarding this matter is not to fall into this great faults that the friend himself has to resolve this problem with another friend. That is impossible. Neither one of us has the powers to do that. It is simply the work of the whole 10 to create such an atmosphere that gives both the strength. And it seems to me that, just the strength to do that step. And it doesn't come from him either. This is the work of Arvut together in the 10. And this is a wonderful way to see the quality of our unity.
I think without this work as well, we reach a place which is very boring and pointless. Meaning, studying wisdom just for the sake of the wisdom so that we become smarter every lesson, it's such a pointless thing as opposed to going to a place of work. We're coming to work. We're coming to practically reveal how the Creator is revealed in the friends as the opposite, because we are governed by our ego. And then to ask for the correction over that, it's like a carpenter coming to work with wood. It's so practical.
I agree with everything. An example, in our 10, those fields, this is how they work. We had such cases as I've described, and the 10 recruited, and at the same evening we had the 10's meeting, the sermons, and the connection that grew out of it. After we resolved the conflicts between the friend was a connection, a new degree every time. So I feel that this is how we work, and I'm very happy for that.
I'm also happy that I'm part of the 10 in Spain that is made of people who are so different from different places. There you can really feel it. Here we're actually sitting with a pretty homogeneous table. The question is how should we do the work here? There's even a stronger or a deeper resolution is how can I listen to every friend? Do I agree? Don't I agree? Our work is to find the oppositeness between us and to connect it. So when I listen to a friend, suddenly I may not agree with him, and that's my opportunity to overcome it and to accept it inside as Torah coming from Sinai.
Let's say, even in a very physical, tangible kind of way, let's say I feel close to Dudi. So I don't need you. Do not interfere with my work because I'm close to him, I'm connected to him. Everything is fine. But if I feel great distance from Shai, so I have to start raising him like Malchut Keter. So I need the help of the other 8 friends to have something that makes a bridge between my quality to his, because otherwise we are as far as the east from the west is. And here in the work that we do together, and we can help everyone to bridge that gap, then we can create a prayer for the Creator to come and dwell in that connection. And if we're close to each other, we need no one, because I feel close to him, egoistically, naturally. But only if we're distant, then we begin to do spiritual work that we want to include the work, the Creator in it, in our work as a 10.
For that, you have to reveal, you have to appreciate the distance we suddenly get in the 10 between the friends. The question is, does it go under the goal of strengthening the general arvut? If you don't have this perception, this decision, you're starting.
Except number 3, Rabash 1, make for yourself a Rav and buy yourself a friend too. Those people agree to unite into a single group that engages in love of friends. Is that each of them feels that they have one desire that can unite all their views, so as to receive the strength of love of others. There is a famous maxim by our sages: as their faces differ, their views differ. Thus, those who agreed among them to unite into a group understood that there isn't such a great distance between them, in the sense that they recognize the necessity to work in love of others. Rav, we all understand that there is a goal, adhesion with the Creator, which is done through the connection between us. We achieve it, we attain it through the arvut between us. Those things we agree upon. We learn it from one source. So, all in all, perhaps we need to better scrutinize what is the primary desire, what is the primary state, preferable state, and how do we work in order to obtain such a desire, such a state, each of us and all of us together. This is what we have to keep reminding about it to each other. How do we organize the group in such a way? Usually we don't notice how much we immediately are disconnected. The Creator, that system is organized in such a way that it constantly reveals and reveals and reveals a greater and greater will to receive. And we do not feel the extent of how much we are distancing. How can we keep reminding ourselves that there is a goal and there is such a state that we have to reach, and every time we have to swim against the stream. Against the stream. And therefore, this is a constant work. How do we remind to each other about that? That fact will be in the group as a fact in every single minute. Go ahead.
It's a matter of professionalism. You have to be more professional as a group. In what way? In producing love of others. The question is it possible? But that's the work.
That depiction that we're like a group of swimmers who swim together against the stream. Truly so. I don't know, there are friends who has the strength to remind everyone from within, from their concern that we have, that we swim against the stream. It's possible. They're like trainers. And they help everyone else. And this is how we can help each other. That's the only way to help each other. It's in our hands.
Yeah, to feel resistance, you should first feel the force that is against it. In order to feel the ego, you need to feel the current that's flowing in the opposite direction in this river. That's it. So as intensive as you can, without any mercy and ceaselessly, constantly growing and growing with more efforts towards connection. That's the wisdom of Kabbalah, ultimately. But constantly, more and more efforts to connect.
It reminds me about the example of a jumbo plane taken off from Tel Aviv to New York. 98% of the time, it's off course, but it reaches New York at the end. So it's always correcting itself. There's always wind and movements, deviations. It keeps correcting its course. But very short time, it's in the course itself, but it doesn't matter. It has a goal, it has a target, and the group keeps correcting. How? Because it has a goal, it has all the tools in order to reach the goal. And we're not excited that we're in constant corrections. We don't have to be too excited because we're off course.
And for us, to fly towards the goal means we're constantly trying to connect between us, giving room for the Creator to always search how we can justify the friends, how can we improve our internal relation to what's going on, what I perceive as going on. That's a non-stop work, and for that you need forces to do this work. That's why we need all the tricks we know, this whole workshop, the lessons, including everything we have. We understand it's only a trick that compels us to be in it. We should really keep it and guard it very strongly and to look for new tricks.
Yeah, we have this excellent device called 10, which obliges us, except for the morning lesson in WhatsApp meeting, morning lesson and conclusion, morning meeting and the evening meeting to conclude the day, the daily task. We have it 4 or 5 times a day. About the question about the pain, if it could hurt us like a real poking in body, that we're distanced from the goal, but then we would follow the goal out of fear of pain. But we need something other than the external tools that we have is the importance of the goal. The importance of the goal. Once again, this is the wonder formula.
Envy. And that's it. If I'll make the best plan to remind every friend every moment, it won't happen. And it won't help. But envy immediately burns a person on fire because he immediately tries to cover it. The only way to cover it, if I increase my acceleration, what the friends calls me. That's it. That's what we should do. Accelerate each other.
It is extremely important that we're constantly headed towards the goal. Clearly, the system itself, every deviation corrects itself. But then it's in due time. And we are walking on a very thin line. One pace, if you don't notice, then it will take you a long time to go back and to fix it. So we have to remind each other about the goal. And the goal is to reveal the Creator. This is why we connect. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been sitting here. We have nothing in common. We come from different places, different views. If we didn't have the Creator, we wouldn't have been here together. The moment we have this parameter of the equation, then that gives us a reason of why to experience everything that we do. Why is it worth all this trouble?
Yeah, to add to the friend's words, integration. There is something, whether we talk about it or not. There's something in the air that brings you into a certain thought, to a certain extent. If you're in our group, and especially if there's like this critical mass working in this direction.
The question I keep asking myself when I hear you is, who is going to remind me to remind you constantly about the goal? Where will I have such a constant remindment from? So obviously it obliges us to be in avut, but we need to have that seal of the Creator. There has to be something higher that will make this whole thing work.
I have nothing to
Except
add.
number 4, Rabash 1, concerning the importance of friends. If one has love of friends, the rule in love is that you want to see the friend's merits and not their faults. Hence, if one sees some fault in one's friend, it is not a sign that his friend is at fault, but that he is at fault. Meaning that because his love of friends is flawed, he sees faults in his friend. Therefore, now he should not see to his friend's correction. Rather, he himself needs correction. And when he corrects himself, he will see only his friend's merits and not his faults.
Well, this can happen. But in the meantime, the friend also changes and he looks at me in a good way, or doesn't he? I have relations with my friend which are not so good. I make an effort to correct my attitude to the friend. Really. I do it real good. I relate to him in a good way. Do I see him relating to me good in return, or don't I? What do you think? Talk about it.
I think it's not as relevant. It doesn't really matter. If I correct my attitude to him, so it doesn't matter how he treats me. This connection between us, the way it's revealed, it serves us to strengthen the connection between us and the connection of the 10 with the Creator. It's irrelevant how I actually feel about it.
What I say is, I see that the friend always related to me in a good way, and I discovered that I'm the only one who was responsible for this attitude on his behalf, on my behalf. I really correct this form, and I see that the friend always loved me, even more than I do now. More than I love him.
Even more so, if I treat him correctly, I understand that this is the Creator treating me. He loves me and He bestows upon me the best possible way through the friend.
And also, who is the friend, all in all? We should already remind each other that the friend is a kind of illusion or a projection of my own ego. It's as if a contradiction. It's as if we work together. We're a group, we're 10 people working together, but we have to remind each other that we don't really exist regarding the others. Meaning, I don't exist for you. I'm a part of you. You don't really exist. So it's a kind of peculiar thing, but it's already part of our life.
So it turns out that in advance, the definition of the state and the problem was wrong. What does it mean that I have such and such relationship with a friend? I have issues with myself, meaning I have a wrong perception of reality which I have to correct. It is revealed through the friend and my relationship with the friend, but I have to correct my perception and reveal that it is the Creator standing behind him, and so on and so forth.
I also think it's a function of the importance of reality. If you don't have importance of reality, there is no relationship. Maybe you have some with friends who are close to you, but in such a congress you can embrace someone who he gave you things that are both spiritual and corporeal.
I'm trying to understand. Let's see, I see that the friend is prideful. Obviously, I see my own pride, right? The Creator is showing me my own pride, and I need to be corrected, right? So I'm asking the Creator for help to help me because I really want to lower my pride. So what? I'm not supposed to see some feedback if there is a correction that I need to see some reactions from somewhere, or shouldn't I? That's the question. If I'm asking for correction, so how do I know that the correction was made or not if the same thing continues?
There's also oppositeness here. Well, first of all, the deal is with the Creator. My request is I want to see the Creator everywhere. And so I don't want to see the friend related to me in a good way because it may cause me to miss the revelation of the Creator. What I want to reveal is the places of disconnection, just like the old man who looks for deficiencies. So if I see something bad, it means I'm in the world to receive, and it has something good to give me. Otherwise, until the final correction, no one will treat me good. Our corruptions never end.
Bad relationship with a friend, it means that I see a desire in a friend which I cannot satisfy with love. I cannot fulfill it with bestow. And I'm asking for correction to have such an ability to bestow upon the friend. And that means that I am corrected. The feedback that I receive from the friends is that I can be in touch with his desire, with his attitude. And if a new form of attitude is revealed because now I'm bestowing.
This brings me back to the subject, the topic of our lesson. Love covers all transgressions. So if I corrected my attitude to the friend, I corrected. The Creator corrected the way I see reality regarding the friend. So where is the transgression? I don't see it. Love covered it. Where is my transgression? Where is my previous attitude towards a friend? Has it evaporated?
I think it exists. It is felt in your overcoming. You hold the love above this.
Otherwise, it's not true love. It's what we call fish love. Like you love fish. That's how we started the lesson. By this contrast, I want
to go back to the question because it troubled me for a long time. There is a problem with a friend. I asked for correction. I realized that, something has to change in the relationship between us, yes or no. I have to see him differently after I discover that it is me and that I have to correct myself, and I'm asking the Creator, I really am working on it. Something changes?
Rav, is the correction in my relationship with a friend or with my relationship with the Creator? Because He awakens all our disputes. And what I should do as a result of these disputes, I should turn to Him for Him to correct these disputes. It's not that I start going into these nice situations with my friend. Suppose I invite Dudi to a bar somewhere to drink something together, right? No. What I should do is to actually turn to the Creator. If this is the way I correct my relationship with a friend, maybe it may be true and right, but the main thing is to turn to the Creator for Him to correct. That's the primary thing. Otherwise, we're just covering up a wound without healing it for real. The only way to heal is by the address to the Creator. So how do I see my relationship with a friend that the Creator corrupted them? And how do I turn to the Creator to heal these relationships? Or maybe you should correct my attitude to the Creator or to the friend. What's going on here? Please.
I think that this is what Gershon asked about healing. You're healing the wood, so what? The wood disappears? It does not. So what does happen?
The only request we should have is to have the force to overcome the corruptions we see, to come out of ourselves.
And overcoming is only by turning to the Creator. I see the friend as someone whom I hate or he hates me. And usually people try to mend it, to fix it, or to annul themselves supposedly, or to tell him, listen, it's not appropriate that you're like that. No, turning to the Creator, that is the overcoming. This is the only correction, that we ascribe everything to Him.
To continue what Gershon said, it's kind of a justification towards the Creator. Even if the relationship doesn't change, that's how it seems to me. It's not like you need some maturity as a parent. You know your kid will hate you. Okay, he hates me. So what can I do? He'll hate me. What can I do? I'll keep on behaving the way I do.
I still want to continue the question. Let's say we continue option B, that He will correct my attitude towards the Creator, the friend. So what is next? What happens next? What happened to the relationship? Suppose I corrected those relationships. This is what Gershon is asking. So I asked for, and he did correct my attitude towards the friend and the Creator, and my perception of reality changed. What happens next?
What I say is, there's a plus and minus in the system, and it really doesn't matter what the relationship between is. The main thing is for electricity to flow. If you're going to the source, it doesn't matter anymore, because you're in adhesion with Him. It doesn't matter if you're like a capacitor and a coil or a resistor, an engine. It doesn't matter.
The guys in the cave with Rabbi Shimon, they started hating each other, and they ended with love. So there has to be a change in the way we feel towards each other. We cannot feel this way anymore. If we ask for correction, then we need to feel the Creator between us. Where will He be revealed? In hatred?
I think He's revealed as a short sting, and then you move on to the next point. This moment of, wow, I really love them. The moment you finished saying that word, immediately, that's it. Someone said something, and that's it. Immediately, someone touched you in the wrong way, and you're like...
I'm trying to understand, are we talking about something mutual, that both friends have to change their attitude, or am I talking only about one friend? If a specific friend changes his attitude, so until the end of correction, the lamb will feel it as something natural. I can correct my attitude, but the friend will keep on hating me. If you're talking about mutual work of two friends, this is something else. Me and Dudi together hate, and me and Dudi together feel that we're making effort with the support of the group, and the Creator is there. So the question is, what are you talking about?
That too is only under your perception. So what do you...
We go back to the previous lesson. Every thought thing starts with that. But this is the thing, that it's all about providing work, providing as many states that we can feel, and then we can advance more towards each other. These are things that already happen. This is what love is. Correcting the relationship is that I know that you make an effort to overcome, and I make an effort to overcome. And the fact that we hate each other, even if we feel nice and love each other, it is out of hatred, because we're all thieves.
Me? I didn't talk, huh? Okay, first of all, I really agree with Michael. It doesn't really matter if it's plus or minus. The main thing is that it ends in the address to the Creator. And Gershon's question, well, actually, it's becoming more important than Rav's question in this discussion. I'm not allowed to say such a thing? Okay, I said it. So I didn't say it.
Baal HaSulam, the writings of Baal HaSulam, article, Remove from Evil. Whoever thinks that he's deceiving his friend, he only deceives the Creator, because apart from one's body, there is only the Creator. Because from the essence of creation, when man is called a creature, it's only with his own respect that the Creator wishes for a person to feel himself as a separated reality from the Creator. But aside from that, everything is the whole earth is full with His glory. Therefore, when he lies to his friend, he lies to the Creator. And when he grieves his friend, he grieves the Creator.
So how should I see my relationship with a friend? As if they're my relationship with the Creator. That's it? Nothing left for me except there's no one else besides Him before me. Even if it's under the form of whatever friend that I really, really don't want to see. In each and every one, I should see the Creator. And more?
From the writings of Rabash, article, what does it mean that the Torah is called the middle line at work? One should believe that there's none else besides him, meaning the Creator obligates him to do good actions. But since a person is not worthy yet to know that the Creator is obligating him, therefore the Creator clothes himself in clothing of flesh and bones, through which the Creator performs such actions. Meaning, in terms of Achoraim, the Creator does. Meaning, one sees the panim, the faces of people, but one should believe that behind people's faces stands the Creator and performing such actions. Meaning, in terms of the posterior of a person stands the Creator and obliging him to perform such deeds which the Creator wants him to do. It follows that the Creator does everything. Only a person appreciates what he sees and not what he needs to believe in.
Well, are we ready for this? And if we're not, what are we still missing? What are we missing in order to see, in general, all over the world, in whatever exists, that it's the control of the Creator, the reality of the Creator, the Creator's relation to me? How can I determine this and behave this way with everything? It may be that in a short time I will really start feeling that there's no one else besides him and he's feeling the entire reality. Go ahead. How can we really reach it? Of course, there should be support from my small society around me. How can we remind each other that it's the Creator around us and we are within it, within Him, constantly trying to only be aimed at that? Come on.
I have to act towards my friends, not to expect that I will be able to persuade myself, that I will be able to build a time schedule for myself that will enable me to reach that. I have to see how, through little actions, but with a correct intention, to give the friends the opportunity to be in it.
In order to force us to act, I don't know, yesterday in the lesson really came out strongly how we hold each other. I think fear is a good kli. If we develop this fear, because our ego really fears the fear or the pain, and the fear helps us maintain the path.
He also says, in what he just read, that the person sees what he wants to and not what he has to believe in. Meaning, if we will really be in this quality, if we will really try to be in bestowal towards one another, ask the Creator for such strength to act towards the entire reality through bestowal, then we can reach such a state where we will be able to see His guidance throughout the world. If we will create a situation that we see His guidance throughout the world, His providence, then we'll have such a vision.
The question is, what are we missing in order to see the guidance of the Creator all over the world? Seems to me that what the created being has to do is go through some kind of a very internal split, inner conflict, that he can't stay in it any longer, and then he must have something justify this state. And then the Creator goes into the picture. But in order to reach that state, we have to connect. Why do we have to connect? Because we're the will to receive. We're the opposite of the quality of bestowal. And we have to exert, to connect forcefully. Then we make this oppositeness, seemingly, that, well, it seemingly causes this conflict in the created being. So he demands the Creator.
To continue, what prevents us from seeing that there's none else besides Him? Only the will to receive. as if there's me as well. And then all the tactics of society, imponens, annulment, bestol, arvu, the light of reforms, it is all meant to take care of this assumption that cuts you off from the